Okay.
I do feel like this is a stage that comes in every person's lives, especially if you growing according to some order. Like, at this point you're supposed to behave this way. At this point you're supposed to behave this way. At this point you're supposed to be ready to move out of your parents' house. Right? Like, this thing has been recurring for years. So when you have that sense of adventure, I step out and you leave home doesn't, unless there's always something that's calling you back home, and that could be your parents, but the season doesn't, it would be hard to replace it. Maybe you can only feel that same thing you lost if you have a family of your own. Maybe then what is missing there can be replaced. I think it's Cardin that said this, or Sigmund Freud. He said that in your life adventure, you struggle to become the child that you lost. Like, you struggle to become that playful kid, always happy. So no, but then you pass through that difficult phase of being an adult.
Bro.
So do you think this is something general that people go through, or you think it's also personal?
I think it goes both ways, right?
Yeah.
For me, it's personal because I just describe my own experience, but I also think it's something that most people go through because it feels as if everyone around our age range right now, we are going through shaky.
Cool boy.
So like,
definitely.
so I would say most people are either you've passed through this phase I am currently in, or you are currently in it, unless you are under the mantra of the Lulu is a Solulu, where you decide that you don't want to admit that you're going through this phase. And I mean, I'm fine with that. I mean, come on.
The reality hits you.
If you not hit you, then you can't have you. But like, what I'm trying to say is that most people have gone through this. Most people will go through this, and it's something that I would personally say you should try and get out of, because it's Christmas. So in as much as I have this personal experience,
So we should find that spark again.
yeah, you need to find that spark again. I mean, that spark where somebody comes to tell you, oh, take this Christmas money, use it to buy drink, and they give you 10,000 naira. I like, Azal, buy drink of 10,000 naira. Come on, I mean, unless you are buying alcohol. But like, you get what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that spark, I think it's something that we need to find again, because
The illustration you give right now, right?
yeah,
Do you think it's possible that material acquisition can help you recover something that you lost? You know, this thing is like psychological, but then again, Karl Marx said that material things have some influence on our decisions, right? Dialectical materialism. But now, my question is that, do you believe that material things can influence our likelihood to revert back to being in that constant joyous stage of, seasonal spirit, you could say?
I think no matter how you want to paint it, no matter how you want to paint that picture, materialism will always play a big part in it. So I am saying I don't enjoy Christmas. Like, Christmas doesn't give me that joy.
But we have more need to flinch joy.
If, for example, you say, FK, because you've been a good friend to me,
Yeah.
Merry Christmas, take this Sony camera. Come on, I will be happy. I will be joyful.
Yeah.
But so it's something that I will always say, that materialism plays a very big part in it. So you can't just say you want to remove it from it. It's not that simple.
And do you also think that the lack of material in this regard, like it is the Christmas, it is New Year, you're supposed to be spending money, right? We are going to get into Dirty December in a minute.
Yeah.
But you feel like the lack of these things that will help you to maximally enjoy this period. Like, imagine going home to your parents, right, from school or from abroad or wherever, but you don't have money to say, you don't see chance, you don't see amusement park, you don't have that capability. Do you think it's put a dent in your need to return home?
Yeah, I think I would say that materialism plays a big part, and if you try and remove it from it, doesn't work.
Even if you try spiritually, or if you try to psychologically battle it, all of this is just what's it called? Christians call it this thing, earthly things.
Earthly things of the world.
Yeah. So even if you try to consider it that way, do you think it works, or you think rather than trying to reject it, you should try to I'm not going to put one in your mouth, but what do you think of this concept?
I think the concept works, because at the same time you need to remember that there are some people right now that they're not looking forward to Christmas because they don't have these material things that they need.
Yeah.
I mean, the bare minimum. I'm talking about food. Most people don't look forward to it. I mean, I'm seeing my best memories about Christmas is hot jollof rice. I'll keep saying this throughout the podcast. So like,
Definitely. Jollof rice is my favorite.
I mean,
Today.
for me, it's Amala, but we are close.
We are close.
So like, what I'm saying is that most people still have that problem during Christmas because they are thinking, what exactly will make this Christmas different from my normal day?
Yeah.
Because I mean, just a date, it's just 25th. It's just 24th, 25th, 26th. So what exactly will make this date different from 20th, from 1st, from 19th?
Yeah.
So, but when you like, so I think I will try and tie this towards the fact that giving. When you give people things around this Christmas period and you tie towards the Christmas period, it makes things better for them. So you go and greet someone like, Merry Christmas, or give them a bag of rice.
I think it's the same with the Muslim tradition too. You know, Ramadan, literally, the culture is to give, right? Ramadan, when you're coming, the fasting period for Muslims, when you're coming, when you're going, there's a particular amount that you give to people. It encourages giving in that period. Now, if you don't have in that period, it has a dent on your mental health. Although it doesn't force you to, give out your last money. But I get your point there. I do also agree that material things do have a role to play in the way we feel about festive periods. But I also do think that while that is the case, it's also pretty natural for you to lose touch with the child you. I have to say this one thing that the child in me died prematurely because I had to grow too fast. Right. I wasn't allowed to maximally enjoy my childhood because life was happening too fast. I mean, look at inflation now. I mean, look at how economy can overturn overnight.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I mean,
you can't remain the child that you are. You have to go out and you have to grow out of it. And when you grow out of it, it will be difficult for you to return to it. So I think it can be seen on different angles of interpretation. Don't you agree with that?
I agree with that as well because childhood, you are supposed to bask and enjoy in it because you will not get it again. I mean, look at us here at 20-something years old and we are still thinking about childhood, thinking about how you wake up in the morning and say, prepare for school. And you think, oh God, must I go to school again? But right now, if they come and wake me up in the morning and say, prepare for secondary school, I'll be happy because I will see most of my friends that I had back then, enjoy the fact that I am being driven to school, I am driven back, there is food in my flask. But right now, I'm thinking, after I leave this place now, what do I want to eat this night? Do you understand? So like,
oh yeah, there's the philosophical question. We're not asking the meaning of cosmos. We're asking, what shall I eat tonight? Is it Gary again, God?
So like, you can't just... Childhood is something I'm supposed to enjoy. And well, I would say for me that maybe the child in me died prematurely.
Yeah.
But I would say I enjoyed childhood for a bit. I mean, I enjoyed
Doesn't
the
that
child.
imply that something happened and that's the childhood? I mean, that's a bit that choice of word implies something happened.
I think the first major moments that started kicking in when I could say, okay, fine, I was getting out of childhood was when my dad traveled for a while. And it was just me, my younger brother, and my mom. And she kept saying this line over and over and over. You are the man of the house. I'm like, God, I beg, man of the house. I'm a 12-year-old boy.
And that's very painful.
I was 12 years old. And the funny thing was that my dad had traveled for 1 year. So like, he was not in the country for a year. But she kept saying, man of the house, man of the house. And I'm like, what do you mean by man of the house? I still have problems sleeping at, sleeping during the day in church.
Bro, that time I was still dealing with my puberty.
Like, come on, my voice was not even deep, nothing. I'm like, are you telling me man of the house? I'm like, so I would say that was like that. That was like my first, what was that word?
Trigger to adulthood.
Yeah, that was like my first trigger to adulthood. Then slowly the voice getting deeper. I was like, okay, I am no longer the boy that could sing tenor in secondary school.
Yeah.
All right, noted. Fine. So like slowly you tend to outgrow it.
Yeah.
But I mean, but childhood was fun. Childhood was something that I enjoyed it while it lasted.
Yeah, I think that's that last sentence while it lasted. It's a good way to look at the world. It's a good way to look at yourself now, because if you look at yourself, you're going to long for that past that you had. And 2 months from now, it's going to be a future for the for the present.
Yeah.
And 2 months now will make this day a past. And you should struggle to make the future better instead of longing for the past. And I think it's a way people can get out of a brooding kind of we all long for the past now. Life was easy. Life was like as hard as it might have been then.
I know, right?
Like if I told my friend this one thing, that compared to now, 20 years from now, 10 years from 5 years from now, we can say this was good. Like this is the good times.
Yeah.